All right, hi folks. This is Mike Snett, the Office for Truth program. So today we're going to be talking about, as you saw in the title, the Christian rock band Kutless. They've been around for a number of years now, and so the kind of a heavy metal type of Christian music. Anyway, the lead singer, Micah Sumrall, is who you saw in who we're talking about, because his father is Abner Sumrall, who was a longtime pastor at the Applegate Christian Fellowship, 31 years at Applegate, and then another 5 at Athey Creek Christian Fellowship. And so the point is that these are the people I'm talking about. They're all over the place. They're a part of these places, but then they leave there, right, because they have to grow up and do stuff. And then they end up in rock bands. They end up at other churches. They end up in a whole bunch of different places, book writers, pastors of churches. They're in your communities, and they come into your homes, but all the while you didn't know that they had done all this crooked stuff, because Micah Sumrall is just as crooked as his father is. And he took everything he could get there, that he could get. In fact, you see on his bio there that I'm showing you is that he even as a kid, he was sitting there being a pastor, being in leadership roles, being with other kids. So he was right there embroiled in it. You're going to have to ask him when he's being reminded that he's being investigated. I'm doing the investigating. A bunch of other people are going to start investigating these people. That whole movie, that whole joke of a movie, A Jesus Revolution with Greg Laurie and Chuck Smith. I got how many videos on Greg Laurie and Chuck Smith long before the movie came out, how crooked they are. Folks, it's not what you do on the stage. We're talking about what they do off the stage. Micah Sumrall has been in part of this Applegate thing the whole entire time, so we're just exposing him. He's going to come, if he wants to come to the aid of his father, who was crooked all those years, he can go ahead and do it. He's more than welcome. Just sit there and say, my dad's a man of God. He's not. Abner Sumrall was second in command at that church. There was nobody higher up at Applegate all those years. And one of the first newspaper articles, I wish I could have found it, but the newspapers closed down. He was the one, 98, 99, all the way back then, who was saying that the church hadn't done anything wrong. They have the permits, but we're looking for them. When the neighbors group, led by another gentleman, Jack Dugan, in that article, was a representative of the neighbors group, said they don't have them. So Applegate was lying. His father was lying in the paper, out in the public, that we have them. We're looking for them. Well, you should say, well, how come the paper didn't go back and pull the permits themselves? Because they know the neighbors don't like them and they can't trust them, because they didn't have any down there, folks. So he was lying back then. So he's been one of the main liars there. When you have Brett Metter talk about he doesn't know anything about Applegate, well, he takes a bunch of Applegate people on his staff. Brett Metter grew up with Micah Sumrall. He grew up with, granted, he's older than Micah Sumrall, but they've been there the same. Micah Sumrall practically born there. So his father, he brought his father on. See all the crooked stuff that his father did at Applegate, along with his. See what Micah's father did all there, and Brett Metter's father was the head building inspector of the county. Now he brings on Abner Sumrall as the pastor. So it was the cover-ups of all the land issues and the bribery and stealing the neighbor's property. Micah Sumrall thinks that's okay. He don't care. He's known Kelly Rasmussen his whole life. Kelly Rasmussen was his youth pastor. And so he knows all about Kelly Rasmussen and the cover-up around him and being that monster, because he knows what a monster that he is. He understands Ben Corson. He sees the beating of the rape charge. He gets all the media bias and the crookedness of the media there, because he's been a beneficiary at his church. He got to be in that band up until this point in time, this video being made, of not being asked a single question about the church you came from. But yet there was all this crooked stuff that he's been involved in. Remember, to end this video, Micah Sumrall and those people, the John Mark Comers, the Ben Corsons, they don't stay there. The stuff didn't just happen. They just didn't dip in and dip out. They left, and they took that stuff with them. And see, when Abner Sumrall gets a go, is 31 years at Applegate and all the crookedness, and that's kind of ending, so he's got to find another place for a season of time, so he goes up to Brett Metter's church. He's just more crooked there. See, they all took all the stuff with them, you see. So whenever these people leave Applegate, they just take all the stuff with them. That's why you want to be aware of these people. So Micah Sumrall is like just like father, like son, like his father Abner Sumrall, just like Applegate Christian Fellowship, just like Applegate Christian Fellowship, just like Calvary Chapel. So again, this is just a video to give you another heads up of these people are among you, and I'm doing my best to give you a heads up so you can have all the information to make an informed decision. And thanks for watching. Again, this was Mike Stinnett and the Office for Truth.